Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's begin this week's theme that it's going to be dedicated to the individual tarot readings, especially the personality and general tarot readings for those idols or celebrities that I haven't read before, because probably if you had mentioned someone that I did a reading on in the past few months, I will not choose those because I have them already in my channel, especially when it's about personality. We do change when it comes to our personality development, but it usually takes years, not months. So I prefer to read for people that I haven't done general and personality readings for before. So I found it interesting when someone recommended me to do actor Wook, that he was on Goblin. I remember him he was, I think, the angel of death. This was his character, and actually the role that I enjoyed the most seeing him in is the one that he played, the dentist in was it Strangers from Hell? Strangers from Hell. It was amazing. And then when I found out that he was a Scorpio, everything made sense. Like why he was so good at being creepy. So speaking about this, he is a Scorpio sun with the moon in Aquarius. So yes, and also I want to make a small clarification, because yes, I'm starting this series with this actor, but I normally do not read for actors. I have a few readings in my channel. I had also tried to do this sort of dynamic or bond kind of reading for the main leads or for a certain couple of actors, and somehow that didn't work really well in my channel. Not because it didn't work well, that it didn't have views. Actually, it did have views. It was very popular, but I had a few like not so um healthy, not so positive, like I didn't feel good doing those readings, because people would fight in the comment sections, and they would get really hyper sensitive, and get offended and get all aggressive with each other because of these actors, and especially because in most of the cases when I read for them, I didn't see any emotional connection. So this is why I stopped doing readings for actors that work in the same K-drama or movie, because I was able to witness that some fans really get really passionate over them, really passionate, and they seem to know everything about these people. So I just don't see the point about doing a serious tarot reading and then all of a sudden getting attacked because I speak what I see in the cards. So this is why I do not do those anymore. I can read for actors individually, but I will not read their bond or their connection with each other, because it's too toxic. Like, as you know, my community is really small, but we always try to be respectful with each other. We always try to avoid this sort of people that come in the comment sections to actually attack. I don't do this for those people. I do this for my audience, that are actually people that are interested in tarot and astrology, and that are eager to learn, and to connect with the reading, that they just are mature enough to take what resonates with them, and what they don't agree on, they are just like, okay, maybe I don't feel that way, I don't like this reading, whatever, but they just don't attack each other, so I wanted to keep it that way. I want to keep things simple and nice. So yes, I'm going to read for this actor, but for those who are asking for certain duos of actors that are part of a drama, I will not read for those. But I'm sure that there are a lot of other channels that do these kinds of readings and that are really popular. So probably that's more for people that love those readings. So let's start with Wook. So as I mentioned before, he is a Scorpio with a moon in Aquarius. So let's begin with the archetypes cards that he got. He got the card of the priest, the Don Juan, or the card of the player, or the F boy, and the mediator. Actually, I see the card of Don Juan as, yes, the card of the player, but also the card of the seducer. Like, to make it genderless. That is the person that has the ability to make you like get really attracted to them. But starting off with the priest, definitely there's an aura about him that, even though he can be really seductive and he has this very strong aura, this very strong presence, he exudes this very strong magnetism. And yes, because he is a Scorpio, so you definitely can sense his magnetism coming from his soul, from his essence. There's a part of him that actually he is very formal in a lot of ways, probably because the priest card is here. I don't know if maybe his background is that his family and himself are very religious, but I don't think it's about religion. I think that it's about a way of living, a lifestyle. I think that it's about wanting to be a good citizen. I think that there's something about him that, even though he can be sexy, he can be uh, he has this raw energy inside of himself, and he can be really passionate. At the same time, there's a part of reasoning in him that just, I don't know, he's someone that likes to play by the rules, and I don't know what that means actually as I'm speaking on it. But I think that it's about doing what's right. I think he has a strong sense of justice. And here we also have the mediator, the archetype of the mediator. So I think that for him it's about being a balance, a person with a lot of with a good equality in his persona, in the sense that he can be really passionate and intense, but at the same time he does like balance these things with a very rational mindset, or probably his way of thinking and his way of expression is very cold and controlled and just organized. There's something about him that is like, I'm taking my time to not let my emotions run too fast. Because I think that he's very passionate, that he's someone that he knows that he has the ability um, to be whoever the other person, especially the audience. I think he does flirt with the audience a lot. This is why this duality, it makes him such a good actor, because he does have these kind of responses that make you just sit at the edge of your seat, and being like, oh my god, what's he going to do next? He is also pretty peculiar at the same time. I would say that his view of the world also is very different. Probably he has a very interesting mix between very radical ideas and also very traditional ones. So he is he's interesting. He's interesting. Probably he's um I don't know, because he can have this image and this mannerism of being a seductor, of being really seductive, of knowing how to get what he wants, of him knowing how to enchant people, how to get people's attention, especially from the opposite sex. But at the same time, once you get to know him, or once he gets to show you his other side, it's totally different from what you could expect from a Don Juan archetype or from a player's archetype. He has. He's very intellectual, so probably there's something about the way he speaks or the way he communicates or when he expresses how he feels or what he thinks. It seems like he is like a sort of like a person that is very different, that somehow you're like, huh, like what you mean, why are you saying this? It seems like his way of thinking doesn't match his image, his image of being a seducer. And probably he's very eccentric when it comes to his what he finds attractive or what he what he likes in other person. Probably he's someone that he could also be interested in astrology and all these new age things, because I see him that he has this tendency of absorbing a lot of imagination and a lot of like information, not imagination, but he could be imaginative as well. So he's really interesting in the sense that I think that one of the things that also that surprise people is that he is more than just a pretty face, or a handsome guy. He is very different from what people expect him to be, and I don't know why, but I get this sense that he's this sort of like, the character of the mad scientist, the crazy scientist guy, the guy that usually works in a lab, and he is like really like nerd and goofy, and just knows these random weird facts that no one pays attention to. He is this kind of person, so whenever he talks about something, about facts or about things that he had learned, it's very contradictory to his image of seducer. So obviously he's really interesting. He's a really interesting, and I think that he loves to be different, and he also loves to see people's being shocked. Probably people's like faces. To see how they just are so like amazed by his way of expression. It seems like he likes to provoke people's opinions. It's like he wants to make people uncomfortable on purpose. I don't know why. So probably his expression of what he thinks about a certain situation could also be a bit controversial. So yes, he's really funny. I see it that he does this on purpose. That that nothing, it's not that he just talks because he talks, because he just like runs. No, everything that he does has a meaning, has a purpose. He's very calculative in this sense. And then yes, the last archetype, the mediator. Definitely, he doesn't take sides. He's someone that always remains neutral, because he likes to play with the different aspects of a situation. I think that he doesn't want to be certain about anything. He doesn't want to take things or events or people for granted. So definitely he will give the benefit of the doubt to anyone that deserves it. And I think that this also has to do with himself. I think that he also considers himself someone that he can be one thing today, but maybe in the future he will become in something else. I think he is someone that he has a very interesting view about life and about souls and about personalities, about perceptions. He's just so humble in the sense that he admits that he doesn't know everything. That sometimes we think that we know it all, but actually we are blind, or probably we do not know anything. So I think that he is this sort of eternal seeker of the truth. He's always like wondering, what if, what if. I think that sometimes people get a bit awkward around him, like, why are you always questioning things? But for him it's really important, because he cannot help but being like a sort of detective, and also being smart, and he's a very intelligent guy, so obviously his perceptions comes from a place of observation, and also of that he is also very intuitive, so he knows people. He knows that sometimes people are not what they say they are, or they do not do what they say they're going to do. So he definitely is aware of how deceiving people can be. So this is why he doesn't trust anyone, and he doesn't even trust himself, in the sense that he's always subject to change. He's always like in this, like, oh, I'm transforming. Maybe what I like today is not going to be what I like next year. So this is why I think that it's great. It's a great philosophy when it comes to like for example, choosing new roles. I think that he definitely likes to test himself. He doesn't want to get stuck in one gender. He wants to keep improving. He wants to keep growing, and this is very nice. So let's go with the tarot cards that he got. He had the Star card, the Hangman, the Four of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Eight of Wands, the Emperor, the Nine of I'm sorry, not the Nine, the Ten of Wands, and the Two of Swords. So yes, I think that definitely there's something about him being a bit like, it seems like he's living a very comfortable life, to be honest. I think that he is I haven't watched like a lot of his work. Actually, the ones that I mentioned in the beginning are the ones that I know him of. So I think that starting with the start, definitely he is someone that is a star quality, in a sense that he has like a lot of recognition, or at least he is well known in the industry. But at the same time, there's this sort of like about his next project. Probably he's like reviewing a lot of options. He's like, okay, like it seems like everything that he's been offered, it's something that he had been done before, or probably like he's been offered roles that he played before, that he did before. So I see him like being a bit uncomfortable, because actually, like, to be honest, he would be successful in any of those roles. Probably could be another rom-com, or a kind of drama with romantic kind of like theme. But And I think that picking one of those would be like, like going for what's secure, for what's known. But he doesn't feel so good about it. He feels a bit bored, to be honest. It seems like he is starting to see a pattern in his acting, in his last acting gigs or projects, and he's like, I want to get out of that. I'm comfortable, because I think that he's doing really well. He had like received good feedbacks, but somehow there's a side of him that he's like, I want to do something else. I want to break the mold. I don't want to do what others expect of me to do. But probably he is a bit like, he has to accept a few conditions, because I believe that there's a contract in here that it's like keeping him like, okay, like we will pay you, but you need to, do these jobs or do these promotions for us. So he is waiting to set himself free and to go into new horizons, because I think that he wants to experience like a much more like probably a much more aggressive role. And I don't know if the correct word would be aggressive, but I think that this gender probably has to do with action, because we have the six of swords, the knight of swords, and the Eight of Wands. So definitely he wants to do something more challenging, something that demands a lot more energy out of him. He wants to play a role also that it's very different from what he had done before, and at the same time he wants to like be a bit more daring, or a bit more um like courageous. He definitely wants to leave an impact, probably playing like a sort of bad guy, or like, an antagonist, or a role or something like that, someone that goes against the rules, so I think that he would really love to play that role again. I think that he finds a sort of like adrenaline rush every time that he has to do like the bad guy, or I wouldn't say the bad guy, but probably the guy with the dark past, or someone that is not what they say they are, and probably this is very scorpionic, a very Scorpio kind of themes, like so probably he is wanting to connect with his passion from that, from trying to play those kinds of roles. So I see news coming to him. So probably he will receive a kind of offer at the end, and I see this happening like next year, not now, but he this will set him free actually from this sort of monotony that he's living. Actually, he's living a really good life. He's really he's blessed. He's someone that his image is also very well protected. He is someone that he's someone that is very well informed, in the sense that he had seen a few of his colleagues, or he had heard of people getting into trouble because of accusations and stuff. So he feels really blessed that actually he is able to work, or to find work, or to get opportunities, because somehow there are some actors, or they're not so much like acting opportunities, so he is definitely like trying to not rush things when it comes to being selective, because he is very grateful that he has opportunities. Probably he had seen other actors being rejected, or not getting calls, and not getting propositions of work. So he definitely is like maintaining a very low profile, because he knows that he has opportunities, that probably he wants to do something more risky, but he knows that he has to be grateful with what he has available. And then we have the Emperor, the Ten of Wands, and the Two of Swords. So Yes, I think that he will get, definitely he will get the role that he wants to, but yes, he will have to also like um try to protect a bit his energy, because I think that probably there's something about while he will be working on this project that probably things will be a bit delayed, or something will happen where actually probably um, a lot of things about this, or his character, or his role in this. I have a feeling that it's a sort of a film. I don't think that it's a series or a K drama. I think that it's a film, like a movie. But I think that there's something about his role being really demanding, like physically and emotionally. So he will need to save energy and to take care of himself, and to put his emotional needs first. Because I see him like him trying to actually like trying to fulfill this role of being perfect, and actually him compromising a bit his mental health. So I don't know if maybe that role is very important for the trauma, for the plot. So he will feel like a huge weight on his shoulders, literally, to make this this project work. So he will definitely need to keep himself balanced, to not lose control, because sometimes, in industry things happen for a reason, and sometimes the audience do like what you do, and sometimes they don't. You know how it is. So but since he is going to be so like immersed in the role, and probably like he will have a sort of like a feeling of pride about this project, and also actually getting really attached to this project. Probably if he fails, or if he feels like he has to work extra hard, he will definitely like keep going and going, and he will not realize that he is a bit like too harsh on himself, that he needs to ask others for help, that he needs to ask for proper conditions of work. He needs to do this, so he doesn't get hurt, or so his energy, and his talent doesn't get like ruined, like in a sense that it cannot be ruined, but affected by the amount of work that he has to put, and not also work but also energy, because actors do use a lot of their energies to bring to life their character. So yes, it's a huge physical, mental, and emotional work. It's a lot. So yes, guys, this is all I have for him. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you're a fan of him and you know a bit more about him than actually what I do, because I do not know much, I would love to hear from you, or any kind of feedback that you have. So thank you so much, guys, and the person that recommended this. I'm really happy to start this reading with him. I usually have on my list a lot of names of idols. I actually read a lot for idols, so but I wanted to include him because I really find him that he is very talented. So it's been a pleasure to read for him. So I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.